Good afternoon, guys. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's doing well. Kind of a little bit of housekeeping type stuff. I went through and I didn't know that there was like a box that I had to check so that if you submitted an assignment late, it would show up. That box has been checked. Hopefully everything up to now has been graded. So if you see something is missing, by all means, please let me know. But if you've turned anything in so far, your grade on Canvas should be reflecting that now. So hopefully that's the case. If you find that it isn't, please let me know. One of the keys to making this thing work is constant communication and checking and all of that good stuff. And, if something happens that you're having tech troubles, if something happens that you turn something in late and I don't see it, that's not something you guys are held accountable for. As long as you do the work and you can prove to me, hey, I did this when I was supposed to, I'll take care of it from there. So, like I said, by all means, please check. Make sure that you've gotten credit for everything that you've done so far. I'm going to start on chapters 3 and 4 today. I don't know. Hopefully you guys have noticed and looked. Chapters 3 and 4 were combined into one PowerPoint for this reason. This is very biologically heavy stuff. It is very biologically intensive. And to be really honest, you could teach a whole class just on this. I'm not a biology teacher. I'm okay at it, but really what I want you guys to get from this is how these systems work, how these organs work together, the organization of sensation and perception, and how they're different. Those are really the things that I'm trying to concentrate on because those are the ones most directly related to psychology. Not to say that the others are not important because they very much are, but they are more leaning towards biology, which is going to be a separate class that you may or may not have to take, but for a lot of you, you probably will. This is to give you exposure so that when that time comes, you will already be like, oh, hey, Dross taught me about this. Cool. And, you're on a certain level of familiarity. So, by all means, if it's something that you're interested in, go above and beyond. Take it, run with it, do your thing. Rock on. But for this, I'm really trying to teach this in a way that directly relates to psychology and, why these things are important. So I hope that helps. I did decide just a little bit ago I am going to be creating my own test instead of using the one from Connect for a couple different reasons. I like being able to cater it to what I know that I've taught you and what I've emphasized importance of. The one on Connect is good, but it's very thorough. And in order just to meet the 50 question criteria that I'm using for the test, I'm going to be creating it. What that means for you guys is that you'll be getting a study guide. And the way that it works, your tests are multiple choice. They're all multiple choice. What you're going to be doing is for the study guide, it's going to be fill in the blank. And some of the stuff, I have no doubt you're going to know right off the bat. You're not going to have to dig. You're not going to have to look. Some of it you may have to dig and look for a little bit. But I promise you, this study guide will prepare you. You will be good. You will not have any questions. It's not going to be any discrepancy. It's going to prepare you very, very well for your assessment in terms of the exam. Melanie asked me in particular, at one point my plan, like I said, was for you guys to take your exams on Connect, but higher up said, no, you can't do that. They have to come into the testing center. I'm hoping everyone's local. Nobody has notified me otherwise, so hopefully everyone has means to make it to the testing center for the week of the test. You just show up any day that week that you're ready before Friday afternoon. Anytime the testing center is open, you say, hey, I'm in this online class. I need to take this test. They set you up. You're good to go. And you'll have to do that for each test. But hopefully that won't pose a problem for anyone. If it does, please contact me and let me know. Gonna go ahead and get to the material. So on chapters 3 and 4, talking about this, They really go hand in hand in a lot of ways. We're talking a lot about biology and how some of our systems of the nervous system and sensation and perception work. And like I said, they do very much go hand in hand. Your nervous system is an electrochemical system. What that means is that there are going to be electrical impulses sent out. And with those electrical impulses, it is going to cue certain chemicals called neurotransmitters. It's going to trigger the release and regulation of those things. So that's kind of in a nutshell how this works. It is very complex. Obviously, it controls your entire body and functions all over your entire body. You have neurons, which are specialized nerve cells. You have them all over your body. That's why if somebody tickles your feet, you laugh. You feel it. And that's because of nerve cells like this. It's very integrated. Like I said, it works all over your body and interfaces with many different biological systems. So that has to work out pretty well. It has to be a pretty specialized system. Adaptability. It can change according to what's going on. It can change according to your brain and how it works, because that's what it has to do. Your body has to respond to various situations, including stressful situations, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. Kind of my favorite thing to talk about. It's a lot of fun. So, but your body has its own way of reacting to stress, and it changes your entire body. So it's something to keep in mind. Again, electrochemical transmissions, we talked a little bit about that, how it works in electrical impulses and chemical releases. So hopefully that is clear. Let's see here. What else? So, what I really want you to pay attention to in the PowerPoint is on the second slide. There is a diagram of a nerve cell, okay, of a neuron. And you see the dendrites, which are kind of the little tentacly, stick-like, branch-like features of it. Your nucleus is in the middle, and then your axon is what connects it on through, and kind of gets next to the next neuron, so that those electrical impulses can go from one neuron to the next. And that's what I really want you to focus on in terms of neurons. So a neuron, again, is a specialized nerve cell. It is, again, responsible for sensation and perception and neurotransmitter regulation, and that those electrical impulses help tell your brain, hey, we need more serotonin here, or hey, we need more dopamine here. And we'll talk about what those are here in just a minute. The glial cells are what makes these things happen in terms of protecting the neuron and making sure it has what it needs in order to thrive and survive. Glial cells are like the protectors. And one of the things that goes along with this too is something called myelin. The axons are coated in myelin. And what myelin does, it's like a fatty sheath that surrounds it. And it is a conductor. It helps the neural impulses travel faster from neuron to neuron. Okay? It helps protect to a point too, but it is more so to get those messages and communications from one neuron to another effectively. And then, let's see. Going along with the book too, page 63. Kind of goes along with this. It may be further along in the PowerPoint, but it is super important. Plasticity. Okay. Plasticity is your brain's ability to adapt and overcome challenges. So, it's been a while now, but, in one of my older textbooks, we had an example of a Marine whose name was Brandon Burns. Brandon Burns was involved in an IED attack, and part of his brain was damaged. And what happened was his brain was able to adapt and overcome. So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was part of his right hemisphere that was damaged. His left hemisphere was able to say, hey, guys, we can't do this on this side anymore. We need to learn how to do it over here. so that he could learn how to function to a more adaptive way of life. He even got to the point that he learned to tie his shoes one-handed, because he, his right side of his brain couldn't do it anymore, so his left kind of picked up the slack. So that's something too. And myelin helps these things because, those neurons have to talk from one side to another. When myelin hardens, so around your neurons, this fatty sheath, sometimes it can harden, which slows down the neural impulses, which means that communication is not happening as effectively as it should. This is a condition that many of you may have heard of. It's called multiple sclerosis. And it can stop the communication of neural impulses. It can slow them down dramatically and can be really, really painful. And then what will happen to, again, with the way that your nervous system works, you have these neural impulses, these electrical impulses, and it tells your brain, hey, I need, like I said, more dopamine over here, or more serotonin over here. You have chemicals, neurotransmitters, and they transmit information across a synaptic gap. And what a synapse is the area between two neurons. So you have the axons, and the axons will extend over here, and then maybe you have the dendrites over here. The neurotransmitter is going to go from here to up here to make sure that information goes from the neuron that it just passed through onto the next one to keep that message going. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. But